What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mind. This is your recovery and mobility class. So each video is going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to use one of these therapy bands, and if you don't have one, that's okay because everything can be done without the band. It is totally optional. My name is Donna, and I'm going to take you through a mobility, stability, and flexibility class. It's about 30 minutes long. And we will begin here in just a moment. I want to talk about posture real quick though. So as we flow through these movements or go through these movements, I want you to remember to try and think about your good posture. So I always say, I want you to roll the shoulders up, back, and then down into their sockets, tucking your rib cage in, because once we do that, our rib cage wants to flare out. So we need to tuck the rib cage in, being mindful that the shoulders don't roll once we tuck the rib cage in. Pull your belly up and into the ribs, and just a slight tilt of the hips depending on where your hips are. So sometimes we walk around with this arched back and anterior pelvic tilt, letting the belly just kind of go. Sometimes some of us have this tucked under roundness here. So we want to find somewhere in the middle, and some of the classes that I will do that are mobility bound like this will go through the different tilts here. And I want you just to find your neutral spine. We're all going to have a slight curve here, but just being mindful of not being too far forward and not being too far tucked under. Shoulders are back and in its socket. Sometimes that's a little bit hard for us if we have rounded shoulders, tight pecs here. We sit at a computer all day. So just being mindful of that. And then with the feet, they're our foundation. I talk about them a lot in different classes. Spread your toes out as much as you can. When we're doing things like squats and hinges, I want you to really grip the pinky toes into the ground as well as the ball of the toe, the big toe, and the heel. Okay, so really gripping the pinky toes. We'll already turn those knees where they're supposed to go when we come into our squats so our knees don't cave in. So just being mindful of those checkpoints, drawing the belly button up in towards the ribs, breathing around the rib cage as well. I'm going to go ahead and start our timer here, guys. And if you have your band, go ahead and grab that. Now we're going to use some band resistance to gain even more extension in the body. It will also help with the joints and just finding some stabilization. So like I said, if you don't have the band, feel free to just use body weight with any of these movements here. You can imagine you have a band. You can use a towel if you want. First movement, we're going to get some resistance. So depending on how long your band is, find some resistance, kind of pull here, spread those toes, tuck the belly button under. What we're going to do is come up here, and then we're going to take this band and just drag it down. So coming up, and this is what we're going to call a dow hip hinge, just dragging that band down. Shoulders back and down, don't flare the rib cage when your arms overhead, dragging that band down just into a hip hinge or a deadlift. You can progress this by coming all the way back, all the way up, and just nice and slow, keeping the arms straight here now instead of bending. Will give you a little bit more resistance as well. So always go back to the regression if it's a little bit too much, but we're getting that chest open, taking the roundness out of our shoulders, keeping the knees slightly bent as you hip hinge, finding your neutral spine as you hip hinge. Push the hips back. You got it, guys. About 10 more seconds here. So each move we will do for about a minute. And last one here. All right, we're going to retract and rotate. So go ahead and come on up. Find that resistance here. Pull. And then I want you to pivot off the foot. Good. Pull. You can relax and then pivot. So that's an option. Pull, relax, pivot. Keeping the arms right out in front of you, chest tight. Now, if you need a little bit more in this move, you're going to keep that pull here. Keep the arms a little bit wider. Find center. A little bit wider. You feel the chest, the shoulders already firing up here. Keeping the shoulders back and down. Getting a nice twist here. You got it, guys. We're here for about 20 more seconds here. You could always relax, pull, relax, and then find that rotation. So we like to warm up in all planes of motion, getting our body ready for any movement that life throws at us, staying fit for life. And it's good to be well-rounded in your workouts as well. Alrighty, friends, go ahead and relax that here. We're going to mimic a pull-down lat machine here. So arms overhead, shoulders back, rib cage tucked. I want you to pull down behind you and then bring it back up. There you go. Pulling down and then back up. You can fix your hand on your bands if you need a little more resistance. Maybe try closing the grip on the band. So what I want you to try and avoid here is reaching all the way up with that rib cage, pulling down and arching the back. So that's a no. So we're trying to find our neutral spine, slight curve in the low back, no rounded shoulders, just pulling straight down, keeping the arms straight, and then bending slightly as we pull down. We're here for about 10 more seconds, so you can take that grip a little wider if you need. Just play with the band here. Nice. Few more seconds, friends, and relax those shoulders. All right, we're going to do what's called a lateral lunge windmill. So we're going to take the feet out even wider. So first, what I'd like you to do is find your windmill, right? So we're going to come down behind you, pull down behind you, keeping one arm up. Now we can add some lunges. I'm going to add my lunges first. Side lunge here. Make sure the knee and the toe are facing the same way. We can go to the opposite side as well. I stayed on that one side. Now we can add that windmill. Add that windmill arm. Make sure the knee does not cave in. So you really got to screw those pinky toes into the ground so that your knee follows the line of the middle toe, middle to third toe, and doesn't cave in. You can always throw out the lunge and just work on the arm or the upper body. About 10 more seconds here. Got my band slapping me in the face here. You can always wrap the band around your wrist or your hands, and you can relax here. From here, we're going to take the feet in to right under the hips. What I want you to do here is find your, let me wrap around here. Find your external rotation in your shoulders. I got to get a closer grip. So I'm right here, right? So I'm opening the chest, rib cage tucked. I'm going to go ahead and squat and then keep the arms here. So here's one option for you. You can always take the arms forward to about 90 degrees, shoulder height, and then pull them back and stay right here. Otherwise, you can also come to squat and then pull back behind you. Squat, pull back at that external rotation in the shoulders. Take it back to about neutral. We're not quite going internal. Just adding the squat here. Like I said, you can always keep this here and keep the shoulders opened. So helping you take that roundness out of the shoulders. Good. Which we all could use. Go ahead and relax here. Shake those shoulders out a bit. Add a spine roll for you. So just take your band right here. Feet are under hips, toes forward. I want you to roll the head down. Think of one vertebra at a time. So it's going to be quite slow. We're going to round our back here in this roll. And then when we come up, same thing. Start from the bottom of the spine. Think of the articulation of the spine. One vertebra at a time. Relax the shoulders and then the head. Nice and slow, rolling down, tucking the chin in. Round the back, please drag your weight or your hands. Slide them down. And from the bottom of the spine, roll it up. I think we have time for one more. Tucking the chin in, round the upper spine to mid to lower. You can bend the knees a little bit more if you need. Bottom of the spine. Nice and slow, shoulders rolled back before the head comes up. Beautiful. Go ahead and shake that out. All right, take your right foot into your band. We're going to swing this leg forward and back. So you can hold the band in which way you like. The goal is we're still working mobility, but we're bringing our balance stabilization element into it. So keeping the leg straight here, hold the band however you would like, flexing the foot. You're going to feel a little bit dynamic stretch in your hamstring. So you can always tap and tap. There you go. We got it, guys. Or you can swing it straight on through. Spreading your toes here on that bottom foot is going to help you find some stabilization and get some grip in the ground. Play with how you hold your band. Maybe you need a little bit more. Making that resistance here. I'm going to go from the side. Giving yourself some resistance. Oh, I changed directions and now I'm working my stabilization, my balance. Relax. And we'll do that to the other side. So step in with your left foot or whatever foot you need. And again, one side might be a little bit more challenging. Feel that dynamic stretch in the back of the thigh as you swing that leg up. Heart rate's coming up as well. Ooh, got a tap. I got a tap. And guys, if you are wobbly, that is okay. We are working our stabilization muscles. We're continuing to get stronger and finding more body awareness. Keep your legs straight, please. You feel a little squeeze in the glute as you come back. Make sure it's in the glute and not in the low back. About 15 seconds here, guys. Whew. There we go. All right, and relax. Okay, I'm gonna do a little abduction, pulling away. So step back into your band with your right. We're gonna pull that leg straight away outside the body. Now, you're gonna wanna lean. So what we wanna try and do is keep the hips nice and square as much as possible. We are lifting a leg here, so sometimes that's not always the case. But we work on it. We work on our balance. Good. We are about halfway. We're flexing the foot, and we're not turning out here. So don't turn out. Make sure that top of the thigh is what's coming up towards the ceiling, the sky, wherever you are. All right, guys, feeling that burn? My standing leg is on fire. Woo. And let's switch to the other side. So go ahead and step in with your left foot. And again, finding some stabilization here. So these abductions in school, we used to call them Jane Fondas when we did them without the band. Just your basic movement, taking a limb outside of the body here, helps you lubricate those joints, find some mobility in those hips, strengthens the hips and glute medius muscles. Beautiful, guys. About 20 seconds. All right, keeping that foot flexed. Yes, keeping the shoulders back. We don't want to shrug and get really tense here. So keeping the shoulders back, flexing that foot out. You can also, I didn't tell you that, but you can swing back and forth as much as you'd like without stopping and relax. All right, we're going through stability. I want you just to kind of shake out those legs. They're probably on fire here, which is great. We're going to work on our balance here in just a moment. So go ahead and step in with, we'll say with your right side, right? We'll say with your right side. So go ahead and step in with your right. I want you to pull that knee up, and then just hold that band up here. Try to keep the hips square. Not sure if you can see with all my dark clothing blending in. Trying to keep the hips square, trying not to hinge over or hike the hip, no hip hikes. So belly pulled up and into the rib cage, shoulders down. These single limb exercises or balances, so great to keep the foot nice and strong, keeping the ankles strong, which will keep your knees strong, your hips. So all of that is connected. It's the kinetic chain, keeping the feet and ankles nice and strong will help you in your other checkpoints here, especially if you have some knee injuries. Woo. All right, and relax. Let's do that to the other side. Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to keep you here because we're going to work that entire side. I'm going to keep you right here. What we're going to do is we're going to take that back leg, that right leg, and we're going to hinge, similar to a deadlift. It is a deadlift, right? Pulling the shoulders back and down, hinging from the hip, trying to keep the back very neutral. Some people will call it straight. Working on balance. If you need, tap the front, hinge, tap the back, right? You don't have to bring it all the way up here. There you go. We got 20 seconds. Yes, we're burning out one side here. Totally forgot that that was the plan. Shoulders back and down. I'm going to just turn this way just to make sure that I am doing what I preach. So your hinge might be a little bit different too. You might go a little further down with your flat back. You might have to stop and shorten that range of motion. Totally cool. All right, so from here, we're going to take the band off, but we're still going to move this leg here. I want you to reverse that lunge and then rotate over. Bring it tap or lift, and then bring it back and rotate, pulling that band. Feel that standing leg just on fire. That standing glute attached to that leg is on fire. Find your lunge before you twist, okay? And you can always pull your arms straight out and rotate. Lift or tap and rotate. There we go. Nice, nice. About 15 seconds left. Oh my goodness. All right, relax for a moment. You're going to take that same moving leg. We're going to go to the front lunge. Now, if you have knees that are bothering you, take that lunge a shorter range of motion. Front lunge, and we're going to open here and then bring it back up. Front lunge, open the chest, and then up. Dropping the back knee under the hip. Make sure the front knee is at 90 degrees. What I want you to be mindful of is if you can see yourself, make sure that knee is not going inward, okay? You want that knee still following the line of the middle toe. And if your knees are bothering you, you can actually take this into a front hinge, open the chest, and then step it up so that you do more of a glute dominant lunge rather than a quad dominant lunge. All right, last one. All right, guys. We're going to take this into a side lunge. So we can start with our side lunge first, and we're still moving that same leg, the right side. Good. Push your hips back. This left leg of yours is staying straight. Now we can add Good. Little resistance, so you're pulling on that band. You got it. All right. Last 15 seconds. I want you to push off that heel of the bent leg. Push it off. Good. Last one. Woo. And relax. All right, we got a lunge combo. So first we're going reverse lunge, same foot going back, same foot moving. Twist, front lunge, open, side lunge, twist, back to center. Reverse lunge, twist over, front lunge, open, side lunge, twist. Good, let's keep going here. Reverse lunge, twist, front lunge, open, side lunge, twist. Didn't think we'd be getting such a workout, did we? Lots of movement. It's what I love about Mind. Beautiful. Let's get this last one in here. All right, guys. Ooh, you ready to shake all that out? We got the other side to balance with. Okay. Now we can step in. Now we can bring that knee about hip height, flex the foot, flex the knee, and then what we call flexing the hip. Just holding here. Enjoy it because you know what we're getting into on all of that. So let's see where my hip is here. Finding a neutral spine. So not sticking anything out, not hiking somewhere weird, but finding neutral hips, shoulders back, belly pulled up to your ribs, expanding the ribs, flexing the foot, please. Spreading the toes on the standing, maybe a slight bend so you're not locking out. Squeezing the glutes. We got about 15 seconds in our balance here. You got this, guys. About 5 seconds. Again, we're enjoying this, right? We know what's coming. Okay, we're gonna hinge, so just go ahead and swing that back. Neutral spine, shoulders pulled back, please, and then bring it up. You can tap or you can lift it back up. I like to hold my hand out here to find some stabilization, help me without rounding my shoulders. Because as we bend, as we hinge from our hips like this, I see a lot of rounded shoulders, and when we're doing our deadlifts and got that heavy set weight because it's deadlifts, glutes, lower body, we tend, if we rounding our back, holding all those heavy weights, imagine why we would be in so much pain with our backs. Or holding that tension in the shoulders, and now we're super tight in the traps, upper back and shoulder area. Try not to open the hip here, so I don't want to see any of this going on. Square your hips to your floor, and maybe give me one more out of this. All right, good. You can shake that out a bit. We're going to stay right here, guys, and we're going into our reverse lunge and rotate. So that same left side, taking it back, rotating over the front. Arms can be straight or bent. Obviously, if you straighten them out, you're going to get a little bit more resistance. You can hold them here at your chest. You can drop them as you come up. We're keeping that knee right under the back hip here and keeping that front knee 90 degrees, following the line of the middle to third toe, not trying to cave in towards the big toe like that. Good. All righty, guys. Just about there. 10 seconds. I know we can do it. Last one. All right, we got a forward lunge to a reach. So that same moving leg, stepping up, dropping the back knee. Reach to open the chest without arching here. Pull the shoulders back and step off. So I'm going to turn this way. Forward, reach, and push off. So I like to try and get into my lunge first before I start moving my arms. If you've ever been in a position where you're trying to do something, catch yourself, you might injure your joints, might injure your knees. So try and make sure you get into your position first. If you're a little clumsy like me, open your chest a little bit more if you can, without flaring that rib cage too much. Do one more here, please. And then we're going to do our side lunge. So go ahead and relax after that one. Same moving leg, right? We're still here. We're going to take our hips back as we bend, and then you can find a twist. If not, first go ahead and stay right here, getting resistance in that band the entire time. And then you can throw that in. Good. Woo. Halfway there on this one. Making sure to keep this leg nice and straight. I'm relaxing my arms at the bottom as I step up, but you can totally keep that resistance right here. Last one. All right, guys, you know we got our lunge combo. Same moving leg. We're going to first take it to a reverse lunge, twist, front lunge, reach, please, side lunge, twist over it. Getting that spine nice and mobile. Good. Woo. Oh, what did I do? Wrong one? We're working our minds too. That's why it's called mind. Beautiful, guys. I'm breathing heavy. All right, and relax. Shake out those shoulders. It is time for flexibility. We went through the mobility in the beginning. We just did stabilization. Now we're going into flexibility. So you might need some padding under your knee. We're going to go on one knee here. We're going to wrap the foot. You can totally do this without the band. You can stay right here and squeeze your tailbone under. We're stretching out this hip flexor. So I like to reach up and over for this to get more in the hip flexor, but you got to squeeze that butt. So if you're wrapping your band around, can I do it this way? Let me do it this way. If you're wrapping your band around, wrap it around maybe the arch of the foot, get back into that position, and we're just going to pull. Couch stretch. You can lay the top of your foot on the couch, but here, tilt your booty under. Okay, so none of this. You got to tilt it. You can pull this up as much as you'd like. You can totally use a yoga strap for this as well. Squeeze, 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 rib cage tucked. You can lean forward here. me see if I can walk myself to you guys. Squeezing that butt, feeling that in that hip flexor. Feels so good. And relax. Let's go ahead and do that to the other side. So however you did it on that one, let's do it to the other. Need to go more in the middle. All right. So you can begin anytime. Our timer is set for an entire minute. I'm going to turn this way. Oh, there we go. Squeeze your butt. Like I said, you can use a chair, couch, and just lay the top of your foot. I usually have to get on that with my hands down first and then slowly inch my way up as that stretch becomes a little more bearable. In your flexibility and your stretches, I want you to breathe deeply, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth, and just sinking a little deeper on maybe your exhales or every other exhale, or at least relaxing into your stretch with your breath. Your breath is what's going to help you release those tight muscles. Whew. Guys, I worked up a sweat. Let's go ahead and relax that. Go ahead and bring it down here very gently. We're going into a seated saw. So legs out, nice and wide for you, whatever your width is today. Flex your feet, take your band, get some resistance here, and I want you to come over the thigh here, leaning toward your pinky toe if you can. Bring it up and lean. So if you have no band, arms are straight, twist, and you're going to saw towards your pinky toe with your pinky finger. Exhale, saw, lean into that, and come back to the top. Always come center, exhale, twist, and lean in. Good. Whatever your lean is today, wherever it is, listen to your body. Exhale as you lean in. Exhale, twist and lean. All right. Let's go ahead and lie on our backs. We're going to swing your hamstring or swing your foot. So stack the foot on top of the hips here. Press your low back down. Keep your shoulders on the ground. We're going to take that up and down, pressing the heel the entire time. Try not to let the low part of your back come up. You can always bend this other knee if you feel your form compromise. Trying to keep the shoulders down, the back of the neck down. I'm going to bend my knee, actually. Come up a little higher and pull down. Using breath. You can totally do that without the band, guys. Right? You can keep that foot flexed, giving yourself resistance here. And let's do that to the other side. All right. So we can start with the leg bent or straight, whatever feels right for you and where you are right now. If you've got to change up this move completely, feel free to do that. If this swing doesn't feel right for you, if your hips are popping, you can totally take that into a little halfer, that's a word today, half range of motion, or you can hold that hamstring stretch, right? So find what feels right for you and where you are today. We work our way up each time. All right, relax. And I want you to roll on up here with me. We're going to take this, actually, we'll take, since we've got our foot wrapped on this one, we're going to take this leg into a figure four. Sit right up here if this feels right for you and where you are today. If you want a little more, what you're going to do is roll your body down. Do not hit the neck and then come all the way back up. keeping that leg straight and pressed against that band. Start getting a C shape into your spine, tucking the chin in, roll to mid-back, and then come back up, sit nice and tall, stack the shoulders over the hips. And we'll keep doing it. We'll keep doing that. Now again, if that doesn't feel right, you sit up nice and tall. Do not roll to your head or neck. Do not crunch that neck into the floor. You're only rolling to about mid-back, right below the shoulders if so. Good, guys. About 10 more seconds. Let's get one more. And we'll switch. Oh, there we go. Okay, same thing. You can stack that foot on top of that thigh. You can totally just tuck it in and sit up nice and tall. You're stacking here. If you're ready to roll, tuck, round, mid-back, and stack the shoulders. Great massage in the spine. Great core exercise here as well, similar to the Pilates ball. If that's too much pressure on your abdomen, sit up nice and tall. There's nothing that says you cannot do it this way. This forces you to keep that neutral spine, belly button in towards the ribs, and breathe around your rib cage and hold that posture. One more good one in here, guys. And you are all set. All right, that is your mind. That is your mind class today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel a little bit longer, a little bit more mobile, ready to move in whatever class that you're ready to move in. And hopefully we will see you guys again soon. Let us know how you are liking the class. Thanks, guys.